Hi, I'm Jake with Rock River Arms. Today I'm going to show you how to install a National Match rear sight kit on an A2 upper receiver. To do this, you will need the following. Your National Match rear sight kit will come packaged like this. Your kit will include the following items: a rear sight assembly base, an elevation knob, an elevation spring, 2 index springs, 2 index ball bearings, a roll pin, and 3 other items that we will show in another video on a National Match sight. This is your front sight detent, and front sight detent spring. The first thing you want to do is grab your A2 upper receiver and clamping with soft vice jaws on the pivot pin lug. Snug up to it and just do about 1/8 of a turn past, just to make sure it won't fall out. The next thing you want to do is grab your index spring, the small ones. I take a 1/16 inch punch and I slide the spring over the punch. I'll kind of hold it in place with my ring finger. You want to drop it right in this bottom hole. Make sure that it's seated all the way down, no debris or anything inside. The next thing I do is some lightweight lubrication, a lightweight synthetic white grease. Just put a little bit over the hole. All this does is ensures the ball bearing will not fall out while installing the kit. Grab one ball bearing, drop it through the top. Use your punch to make sure that it's guided in the correct hole. I slightly push down on it to make sure it's free of burrs. The next thing you want to do is grab your elevation knob. There's 2 sides to your elevation knob. The farther spaced apart the holes are determines your 1/2 minute or 1/4 minute. So if it's farther apart, like this one is shown, that is a 1/2 minute. If you flip it and they're closer together, that is a 1/4 minute. We are installing a 1/2 minute. So whatever side is facing down toward the ball bearing will determine your 1/2 or 1/4 minute. So the larger space gapping goes down first for a 1/2 minute. And it should slide right in. You'll feel the ball bearing click into place. The next thing you want to do is grab your rear sight base. Same thing with the index spring. Slides in this hole right here. With your lightweight lubrication, just put it over that hole. Take your ball bearing, insert it in, and make sure that pushes down freely. Now we're going to install it in to the A2 receiver. With the ball bearing riding up against the A2 receiver, I try to thread it back just a little bit so you'll feel it catch the threads just right, and then start your descent. I run it all the way down to where it stops. Then flip the receiver upside down. Here's where you grab your rear sight elevation spring and your rear sight elevation spring pin. Now, using your punch for a guide, slide the spring over the punch, guide it in to the rear sight. Now, using an ARO 167 rear sight tool that we have available, the dowel will slip right inside the grooves on the rear sight compression tool. These ears here are what guides the spring down. Then your roll pin will go right through the groove in the middle. Take the rear sight spring compression tool, compress down on that spring all the way down, then use the other tool to hold it in place. Now, taking your roll pin and your set punch holder, you should be able to tap the pin right into place. running the pin flush against the receiver. And that is how you install an Astro Match rear sight kit.